In Toombs County, Georgia, Vidalia police responded to a home just before 1 Thursday afternoon, and when they arrived, they found a mother and daughter both shot, and the shooter was seen leaving in a blue 2021 Nissan Rogue with a busted window. 24-year-old Latori Hardin, 42-year-old Pamela Hardin was transported to Memorial Health in Savannah.
After a double shooting in Vidalia, the GBI says just before 1 yesterday afternoon, police got a call to a home for a domestic argument. As they drove to the house, a second 911 call came in about a shooting at the same address. Officers found 2 women shot there, 42-year-old Pamela Hardin and her daughter, 24-year-old Latori Hardin. Investigators continue to look for the person who's responsible. The GBI says someone there saw a shooter leaving the house in a blue 2021 Nissan Rogue with a broken out window and license plate number RRX 1184. If you've got any information on this case, you can call the GBI or Vidalia Police.
Up Mike Seelup. New information tonight on the connection between the suspect and victims in a double homicide in Vidalia. Federal marshals arrested the suspect yesterday in Flagstaff, Arizona. Bureau Chief Dow Kennedy spoke with police and has this report.
Vidalia police tell me they and other investigators still want to know how and why this shooting suspect made it all the way to Arizona. 1 week ago, a shooting left Tori Hardin and her mother, Pam. Vidalia's police chief tells me the arrest of Joshua Miguel Sanders in Arizona leaves them with as many questions as answers, beginning with why was the young man from Alabama here in the first place?
Nobody really knows what he was doing here. I believe the one victim that he befriended through social media, maybe that's what brought him here. Nobody really knows him, and that was what's so scary here in our community.
He hopes the arrest gives local people a relief from the worry that Sanders was still here on the loose and a danger to the community. No timetable yet on when he would be brought back to Vidalia to face charges, but of course, we'll keep you updated. In Vidalia, Dow Kennedy, WTOC News.
A mother and daughter in Vidalia appeared in court today for the first time. The double shooting happened on the corner of 5th Street and Winona last month. Now, the suspect, 27-year-old Joshua Sanders, was eventually caught and arrested in Flagstaff, Arizona. Today, Sanders went before a judge to hear the charges against him, including. Our Haley Bowling tells us how law enforcement officers worked all over the U.S. to catch the suspect.
The Toombs County Sheriff's Office says Joshua Sanders, the man charged with 2 counts of felon, Birmingham, Alabama. Authorities arrested him all the way in Arizona. That's when the extradition process to bring him back here began. Sanders was wanted in connection to the Vidalia on January 6th. Investigators say he stole one of the victim's cars, drove it to Birmingham, then made his way toward Arizona. The captain of investigations for the Toombs County Sheriff's Office says an eyewitness helped them identify Sanders. Then they put out a be on the lookout notification to all law enforcement across the country, leading to his arrest by U.S. Marshals.
It's a very unordinary case for us. This is not something that we see. You know, this is not Vidalia. This is not Toombs County for us.
Sanders waived his extradition hearing in Arizona, which allowed him to be transported back to Georgia. Sanders arrived at the Toombs County Detention Center Thursday night. Now that he's made his initial court appearance here in Toombs County, Sanders has the right to apply for bond or a preliminary hearing in the coming weeks. In Lyons, Haley Boland, WTOC News.
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. For today's case, we will be going to Vidalia, Georgia. This case would be about Latori Hardin and Pamela Hardin. So on Thursday, January the 6th, 2022, at 12:55 p.m., Vidalia police officers were dispatched to a domestic dispute at 802 East 5th Street in Vidalia, Toombs County, Georgia. Upon arrival, they would find 2 victims that was identified as LaToya Denise Harding, age 24, and Pamela Harding, age 42, and both of them was from Vidalia. There was a domestic dispute at LaToya's apartment, and LaToya also had a 2-year-old son who was there at the time of the domestic dispute, and he witnessed the whole incident. Apparently, from what I understood, allegedly LaToya and her male friend, who goes by the name of Joshua Sanders, got into an altercation, and LaToya called her mother, which is Pamela Harding. She was at work at the time. Pamela left work to come to the aid of her daughter, and probably to just break up the domestic dispute or whatever. You know how mothers run to our aid, and apparently upon arriving, I don't know if LaToya was deleted before Pamela got there or after. So I'm going to continue on with what I've learned from my research. And mind you, at the time that this whole incident went down, nobody at first at least knew who the guy was. Nobody knew him. Apparently LaToya had met him online. But according to what research was saying, 27-year-old Joshua Sanders deleted LaToya and Pamela in front of her 2-year-old son, and from what I heard, allegedly LaToya was actually holding her son when she was, deleted. Not, knowing if that's true or whatever. But after the shooting, Sanders stole the victim's Pamela Harding car, and he went back to Birmingham, Alabama, where the vehicle was later discovered and abandoned. Investigators say on Tuesday, Sanders then took a bus from Tulsa, Oklahoma to Los Angeles, California. The U.S. Marshals, mind you, at this time, they hadn't really figured out who it was. But they just knew they was looking for somebody, and because he took Pamela's car, they knew they could start from there, finding that car. The U.S. Marshal Service in Savannah requested the help from the U.S. Marshal Service in Arizona with locating and arresting Sanders. Okay, U.S. Marshal and Flagstaff police arrested Sanders at the Greyhound bus station as he was getting off the bus. During the arrest, 3 poles was seized as evidence and turned over to officers for further processing. Sanders was taken to the Coconino County Jail, where he was waiting extradition back to Georgia. According to one of the witnesses that used to live with Tori briefly, she said that she saw nothing that could have predicted this would happen, especially at her quiet apartment, her being LaToya. Okay, then later it was found out, officials say, with also the U.S. Marshal Service saying allegedly Sanders had just recently been released from prison. So once they got everything situated, Sanders was extradited back to Toombs County, which is where the murders occurred, and a Toombs County grand jury returned 15 counts against him for the deletion of the victims in Vidalia, Georgia. He was indicted with 2 counts of malice deletion, 2 counts of felony deletion, 6 counts of possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony, 2 counts of aggravated assault, 2 counts of cruelty to the 2 children in the 1st degree, and 1 count of theft by taking. And the cruelty of children comes from him, you know, doing what he did in front of the child, and the 1 count of theft by taking comes from him stealing Pamela's car. District Attorney Tripp Fitzner said that after conferring with the victim's family, the state is not anticipating seeking the death penalty against Sanders. Sanders will be arraigned at a future date on charges brought against him. So LaToya Hardin's 2-year-old child actually witnessed the murder of both his mother and his grandma. Pamela was really loved, and I have included in this video Facebook posts that I found during my research of where co-workers and friends and loved ones and everyone else had posted about the kind of person she was. And Pamela was a certified nursing assistant, and her residents loved her as much as her co-workers did. And they did a balloon release for Pamela because the residents were not able to make it to her funeral. So it was absolutely beautiful. I have included the balloon release for you all to see as well. This has been absolutely devastating. You know, no one can say what they would do in a situation like this. I just wish that whenever Pamela had called for her mom's help, that her mom had called the police to go over there, you know, and meet her over there. However, as mothers, you don't think like that. You just think that when your child is in trouble and they hurt, that you're coming. I mean, that's what we do as parents. And that's what Pamela did. She protected her child to the end. Y'all be safe, be careful with these people you meet on the street or on the internet. The internet people, let me tell you something about the internet. On the internet, people, it's a facade when it comes to these dating sites. Men tell you what they want you to believe as far as females, and a lot of times that don't even be the type of person they is. You know, it's all about tricking and luring people. Be careful who you bring around your kids and you expose them to. No one's gonna treat your kids the way you do. Y'all take care. Thank you for watching this video. Be safe and please be respectful in the comments. Till next video, see you soon.